This is the fifth state-winning headline, SEO Media Police Post, brought to you by the Fort Hall School of Government, coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you may have missed this morning. We also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 8th of July 2022, and I am Sribia.
I am MC Squared.
And I am GW. In today's headlines, in case you missed them, in the Daily Nation, the chaos at IEBC. In the Standard, polls, no reverse gear. In the Star, ballot papers delivery splits IEBC top brass. And in the People Daily, questions as ballots arrive. Now, MC Squared, would you like to give us your thoughts today?
Yes. And today I want to talk about why William Ruto is bad for country. It is my opinion that he wants to take us back to the Moi era. The Moi era was a dictatorial regime in which power rotated around a few people. All the sectors of the Moi government functioned only when he woke up. These 3 points indicate a similar pattern that has formed part of the Kenya Kwisha rhetoric to the public.
Yes.
Number 1, Ruto lied to the public yesterday in an interview with KTN. He indulged simple questions that needed direct answers.
Correct.
When asked if his programs sought to centralize power, his response was, "If you find yourself in a hole, you should stop digging." When asked if he wants to expand the executive, he said his manifesto is different from his competitors. When asked about public debt, he said he'll increase VAT. These answers paint a picture of a man who is hiding his intentions and wants all the power with little accountability. Excuse me. Number 2 was during his manifesto launch. Ruto said he will nationalize the agricultural sector. That means major decisions about the nation's largest sector will be made in Sugoi. The ability of counties to make localized decisions will be taken away. And so we ask, what is Ruto's real intention when he says he wants to nationalize an industry responsible for a third of the nation's wealth? What does it mean? And he has been accused of corruption in the same sector.
True.
He also said that he will move the health sector from being run again by the counties to the central government. Simply put, counties will now lose the ability to build dispensaries, build hospitals, and parents will be unable to vaccinate their children. Child delivery, which President Uhuru Kenyatta has made free, will now start being expensive again. Let us not forget that the COVID pandemic was handled easily because every county made their own decisions and acted on them. This will be entirely lost if healthcare is nationalized. Let us also not forget that devolution has been a key contributor of development in the country. Yet, in the same manifesto, he failed to say anything important about devolution. The 66-page Udaku document mentioned devolution only 4 times. I repeat, 4 times in a 20,000-word document. And yet Ruto says he wants to share power with the people. Bure kabisa.
Tell them.
Number 3, the other Kenya Kwisha leaders who function as Ruto's mouthpieces have themselves said they will nationalize private corporations like Safaricom. Rigathi Gachagua said he will sell Safaricom because the company is making too much money.
Wow.
Let us not forget, Safaricom benefits millions of Kenyans. Maybe he wants to break it for the benefit of a few. He also said he will sell Kenya Airways and give the money to boda riders and Mama Mboga. No more flying KQ. Ruto himself told us that he will take away idle land from legal owners in the coast and give it to squatters. He also said landlords would lose their apartments in what he called, and I quote, an ownership plan for the youth. This is the William Ruto platform. Prof has taught us that if a banana tree gives you a banana on Monday, a banana on Tuesday and a banana on Wednesday, there is no way it will give you an orange on Thursday. Remember, Ruto and Gachagua were Moi's best students. Ruto in politics and Gachagua in governance. Do not say we did not warn you.
Those are excellent thoughts, MC.
Moism without Moi.
Sabi, take us away.
In the same town hall meeting, Ruto was asked why he fell out with his boss. In response, he went on a monologue telling us everything but the specific reason they fell out. He then claimed that he has never insulted the president and instead he has been persevering, surviving a constant humiliation from the president. Yes, I am quite sure life has been very tough for him, with the state paying all his bills, including paying his salary for doing nothing. And I've heard how uncomfortable military choppers can be. Jokes aside, Ruto was not being sincere. In fact, he was being outright hypocritical. For instance, last month, Ruto went on to ridicule our IG Mutiambai in front of international observers, calling him incompetent. Matiang'i told us where this bitterness stemmed from. Mutiambai, we were told, denied Ruto and his surrogates a tender to supply police boots and bulletproof vests. Mutiambai refused to buy inflated boots worth 13,000 shillings from Ruto's allies and instead opted to get the items elsewhere at 2,900 shillings.
Yes.
He also refused to buy bulletproof vests at an inflated cost of 100,000 shillings from Ruto's allies and instead got them from local manufacturers at just 10,000 shillings.
Yeah.
Yet Ruto would have us believe that castigating IG Mutiambai was because he cares about efficient police service.
Happy.
When he speaks against CS Mushero, Ruto wants the hustlers to believe he is doing so because he is afraid of election misengineering. This is why he has called for Mushero to resign, yet he has failed to lead by example by resigning himself.
Yes.
Is it because he knows that Mushero's position in ICT will neutralize any mischief and the rumors of corruption in IEBC? Mushero cannot and will not resign because he is the antidote to the hustler thuggery.
Okay.
In March, Ruto also used taxpayers' money, over 100 million shillings, to go to America to deride our economy and cast aspersions on the leadership of our country, forgetting he is part and parcel of that same leadership.
Yes.
In his book, Political Hypocrisy, David Runciman argues that we should accept hypocrisy as a fact of politics. As such, we should not strive for the removal of all hypocrisy from politics, but rather a specific type of hypocrisy, malicious hypocrisy. According to Runciman, there are two kinds of hypocrisy, malicious and fashionable. Fashionable hypocrisy, which is a type we can accept in our politics, is about deceiving yourself, while malicious hypocrisy, which is the type we expel from our politics, is about deceiving others.
Yes.
Malicious hypocrites know themselves to be false, but still play at authenticity and virtue in order to deceive those who believe them to be true, as well as conceal their sinister deeds. What is our take point home here? Ruto is a malicious hypocrite. He plays the victim to hide his sinister intentions.
Yeah.
Is this the kind of man we want as president? Remember, Ruto has implied that his first order of business when he gets to power is to arrest all those government officials who sabotaged his plans. And the voters will not be spared either. So speak out now, or according to Martin Nimola, there will be no one left to speak out for you.
True that.
The bomb you dropped on us. Now, my choice was to focus on yesterday. And yesterday marked 32 days to the next election. It also marked the commemoration of Saba Day, an event that altered the history of this dear country of ours 32 years ago. The spirit of Saba has over the years been embodied by the existence of a healthy opposition. This year's election's opposition candidate is undoubtedly William Ruto.
True.
This is despite him blurring the lines so that he is in opposition only when it best suits him. And yesterday's town hall interview truly showed us his ability to gaslight the Kenyan public.
I know.
Now, gaslighting is a form of intimidation, as well as emotional and psychological abuse, where a person manipulates and presents false information to the victim, making them doubt their own memory, perception, and quite often, their own sanity.
Yeah.
For instance, he told us that the SGR is being used as an engine to further the state capture and to deepen the marginalization of the people of the coastal community. But he is vague on how his administration would do things differently.
Yeah.
Just simply pointing out to integrated services into the port of Mombasa, and definitely did not tell us how this loan will be restructured and how over 50,000 jobs will be created in under 100 days. This is like making a chicken lay eggs at gunpoint. Impossible. Furthermore, Ruto has failed in his role as DP and now is failing at being in the opposition.
Oh.
He claimed that he is a very patient person, suffering humiliation from his boss, but the likes of Raila and Martha could not bear such a disgrace. Has he forgotten that Raila has been schooled under 3 decades of Jaramogi's valiant opposition?
Yes.
And still, for decades more, led the assault against KANU at the height of multi-party democracy. When Koigi Wamere was being detained and accused of treason in the High Court, it was Martha Karua who seized the chance to give Wamere free representation.
Exactly.
And when denied the chance to speak in defense of the opposition, she boldly walked off from Moi as he addressed the nation.
Yes.
These are the hallmarks of a no-nonsense opposition. They truly led the second liberation.
True that.
Now, Ruto's reasoning for branding himself opposition seems disingenuous and personal. He wants to make his personal problems with Uhuru our problems. It is why he would express to country his willingness to slap the commander-in-chief and then go out to say, "Iko nini?" That's what a friend does. Surely. The only thing Ruto has demonstrated in yesterday's town hall was his ability to pick things apart. What did he actually tell us that pushed the conversation forward in terms of real change and future of country?
Nothing.
The first rule of being in opposition, according to famous opposition leader Nigel Fletcher, is to not oppose opposition for opposition's sake. Ama namna gani? Ruto wants to take on the robes of the opposition without carrying the pain, grit, and responsibility of it. And so we ask, which candidate best represents the spirit of Saba? Msione Simba amenyeshewa, mfikirieni paka.
True.
And on that note, we have a 3-part criteria that we use to judge the headlines. We ask ourselves 3 questions. Is a headline topical or speculative, repetitive or groundbreaking, thoughtful or just plain lazy? And I'll repeat the headlines just so we get them. In the Daily Nation, the chaos at IEBC. In the Standard, polls, no reverse gear. In the Star, ballot papers delivery splits IEBC top brass. And in the People Daily, questions as ballots arrive. What do you people think about these headlines?
I like the headlines that touch on IBC. We have basically been talking about IBC for weeks. Even yesterday we touched on it. The IBC needs to be careful so that they just don't bungle the elections like they did in 2017.
Yeah.
True. Myself, I think, yes, IBC is critical for this period because now the only hurdles we have to jump is number 1, IBC, and number 2, the Supreme Court.
Okay, so I guess then we have 3 winning headlines. IBC, it is your job not to lose this bag. And on a day when we had 3 winning headlines from the Daily Nation, the Star, and the People Daily, I will leave you with this quote from JFK. The ignorance of one voter is, in a democracy, impairs the security of us all. Now, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also on your TV screens. Find us on Pang, Free to Air, GoTV, and Star Times. And on this long weekend, please be safe and take care.
God bless.